Hi there, it's Sasha here. Now you may have been instructed to watch this video because you're experiencing a functional postural issue, something that we refer to as a proximal cross syndrome. Okay, so that's a functional imbalance between tight and weak muscles in the upper half of your body. Now it's important to keep in mind that the functional aspects to posture are built upon the structural aspects of your spine. Okay? Now, I've drawn out this little diagram here, so it's a side view of a person facing that way, you can tell by his nose, and I've drawn a cross through the upper half. So what we find with a proximal cross syndrome is we get tight muscles, weak muscles, weak muscles. So we get tight upper traps and levator scapulae, and we get tight pec muscles. We also get weak scapular stabilizing muscles and weak deep neck flexor muscles. So what this posture looks like is a rolling in of the shoulders, hunching forward, internally rotating of the arm, forward head posture, and jutting out of the chin. So this type of posture. Now, it's a combination of all of these factors, but for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to stretch out your pec muscles. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to run through a little bit of the function and anatomy of these muscles. So we've got two different pec muscles. We've got a pec major and a pec minor. So your pec major is a big muscle that spans across the front of your chest here. So we've got two different attachments. We've got an attachment to your sternum and an attachment underneath your clavicle. And then it fans across like so and attaches underneath your arm here. The action of your pec major muscle is to adduct, so bring your arm across your chest and to internally rotate. Your pec minor is a small muscle that lies underneath, and it attaches to a bone that we call the coracoid process, which sits right about here. This is actually a bone which is part of your shoulder blade. And from the attachment here, it inserts into your third, fourth, and fifth rib. So it sort of looks like this small little muscle here. And when it's hypertonic or tight, what it does is it anteriorly tilts your shoulder blades. So imagine if these are your shoulder blades on the side, tilts them up like that, protracts them, brings them forward, and internally rotates them. So you get that rounding of these shoulders. Combined with the tight pec major muscles, you get further rounding, you get internal rotation and adduction, so coming forward of the arms. Okay, so that contributes to that aspect of the proximal cross syndrome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to stretch these muscles out. Okay, so one of the best ways to stretch your pecs is against the door frame, or if you're at the gym, you can use a squat rack. So what we want to do, I'm going to show you how to stretch pec major first, then I'm going to show you how to stretch pec minor. So for pec major, we want to have an arm out, flexed to 90 degrees, and 90 degrees here as well. We want to pop it up against the door frame or the squat rack. Now this is an important part because we want to actually support the front part of our shoulder, otherwise we tend to get this type of action, and this puts a lot of extra stress and strain on all those tissues of the anterior or the front part of your shoulder capsule. So, resting up against the wall, the first step is to pinch your shoulder blades together and bring them down. From there, we can gently lean into it and turn away. So if you can imagine our pec major fibers attached like this and span through here. By bringing our shoulder blades back and down, we already start to open up the chest. And then as we turn away, we start to stretch the fibers out even more. If you want to add in an extra step to get even more of a stretch, then we can turn our head to the opposite side and just drop our chin a little bit. So it will help to stretch more of the upper portion. Now to modify this for a pec minor stretch, it's quite simple. Instead of having our arm here at 90 degrees, what we want to do is we want to raise it up a little bit. So you can imagine when our pec minor attaches from about this point here, down here. It's only a small muscle. So by raising our arm up, we've already started to stretch it out. From here, remember to pinch your shoulder blades back and draw them down, and then rotate away. And we should feel a bit of a deeper stretch. Now what we want to do is when we find that point of gentle stretch, what we want to do is hold it for 30 seconds. And we want to do this twice, and we want to do it every day. So what that means is you're going to do a stretch modified for your pec major, so you're going to hold that for 30 seconds, and a stretch modified for your pec minor, hold that for 30 seconds. So they're two different stretches. Okay, so we're going to hold them 30 seconds each, do them twice each, every day, and it's important to do them whilst you're warm, so you've got a bit of blood flow, oxygenation, and stretch to the muscle already. Okay, now if you find that this is causing you pain and discomfort, what you need to do is try it again, but back off a little bit. So just do a really gentle, light stretch. And if you're not quite sure if you're doing it right, then what I'd recommend is that you talk to your chiropractor. Thanks for listening.